Buongiorno e benvenuti. Oggi parliamo degli articoli italiani. Let me share my screen. Se voi vedete, cominciamo. Ok. Articoli determinativi ed indeterminativi. So these articles are the same as the or a, right? Determinativi are these ones here. And indeterminativi, a or an, sono questi qua, sotto. Well, as you can see over here, scusatemi. English uses only one article, while you see French, 3, Spanish uses 4. Well, German has der, die, das, and then the plural die. Italian has 7 articles for that mean the same as the. So Italian has almost as many as German. Vediamo come si usano, but what determines which ones we use? It's actually quite simple. Is if so, then so. Once you know how to differentiate between the special consonants in masculine and the rest of the consonants, then the rest is either vowel or the rest of the consonants. So guardate qua questo esempio. So the example here is actually those special consonants or consonant groups. So you use lo if the next word is a masculine singular word that begins with Z, S plus a second consonant, just one S doesn't cut it, or nye. And there are also some other examples that are not very common, mostly words of foreign origin like yogurt, right? The Y is not a letter in the Italian alphabet, but it's a foreign word. So you would say lo yogurt. But the ones that you need to be concerned with for Italian are Z, S and a second one, consonant, and nye. Poi, everything that is not one of those consonants or consonant groups is going to be preceded by the article il. And by everything that is not, I mean every masculine singular noun. Masculine singular nouns are usually end in o, and some of them may end in e in the singular form. So, and then if the noun, the masculine singular noun begins with a vowel, you put L apostrophe. So vocali a, e, I, o, u. And most of them still end in o and some with e. And when I say o or e, I mean the Italian o or e, which is that one over there. See here, they all begin with a vowel. So L apostrophe. So now feminine singular nouns, you only need to differentiate or distinguish between consonants and vowels. So se la parola comincia con una consonante, so if the word begins with a consonant, you put la. La ragazza, la calcolatrice, la lezione, la scuola, la professoressa, la pizza. And you see here is you have S and a second consonant, scuola. But again, because this ends already with a vowel, you don't need to do anything else, right? So, questo è per femminile singolare. So, what do all these nouns have in common? Well, they all begin with a vowel. So, L apostrophe, just like in the masculine singulars. Now, for the plurals, so you see you have more choices for the singulars, for the plurals. If it begins with a regular consonant, and this is masculine plural, right? Not any of those special ones, the article is going to be simply I. The majority of nouns are actually this kind. Negozi, problemi, I ragazzi, I film, I guanti, I caffè. The plural of nouns will be part of another lesson, but if it ends in o, it will end with I. And when I say the Italian I, right? Però problema è una parola un po' diversa, right? Il problema, I problemi. Okay? Ragazzo, ragazzi, film, non cambia, right? If it ends with a consonant, it doesn't change, and it also doesn't change if it ends in an accentuated vowel. So then Now, what do we see here? So the article is li for nouns of two kinds. So in the singular form, these have different articles, right? Le apostrophe or lo for these ones. So now both the nouns ending with vowels or with special consonants or consonant groups are going to have the article li preceding them, right? Again, special consonants or vowels. And now, finally, there's some simplicity. All feminine nouns have the article le, regardless of how they start. And you see here also, if the noun ends in a in the singular, they are generally going to make the plural by changing a to e, unless they have an accent, right? An accentuated vowel like città or università. Then they do not change, they're invariable. And if the word ends with e, like la nazione in the singular, then it's going to be e, right? For regardless of gender. If it's e ending in the singular, it's going to be e, and by e I mean that with the dot on top, al plurale. So quale sarebbe l'articolo di isole? The article in front of it. Look at the ending, right? It suggests that it's a feminine plural. So it will be le. Zucchero. So the ending, okay, masculine singular, unless told otherwise, and it begins with a special consonant, lo. Bambina, feminine singular, consonant, regular consonant, or any consonant. Esame, right? If this is a singular word, right, and it is a singular, I'm telling you right now, it's a singular word, then the article, regardless of gender, would be L apostrophe for nouns that begin with a vowel. Amici, maschile plurale, comincia con vocale. Li. Cane, this is a singular word, not a plural. Comincia con vocale, and is singular masculine. I mean, consonante. Did I say vowel? Vocale? I don't even know what I need to drink some coffee before doing this. Il cane. Ristoranti, maschile plurale. Masculine plural begins with a consonant, una consonante, I. So again, this is from another source, word Italian.com. It's just different colors. Some people are visual learners. So this is a little summary of that. And you see here some other examples of when to use lo. Ora, l'articolo indeterminativo. This is just like a or an in English, right? And again, in English is consonant or vowel sounds. So you have two options for each gender, and these do not have plurals. These are only singulars, a or an, right? One, a single one. So the option here is either for masculine nouns, special consonants, or everything else, right? Including every other consonant plus vowels, right? So if it's one of these, S and a second consonant, Z or ñ, you put uno instead, right? Just like lo, you're sticking a vowel between all those consonant sounds. So lo or uno, so a student, uno studente. And then for everything else, be it words that begin with vowels, like albero, uomo, ombrello, elefante, and the vowels in Italian, a, e, I, o, u, right? Or other consonants, not including the ones from the previous slide. So ragazzo, cane, gatto, giornale, bambino, it's going to be un, right? Poi, femminile, feminine nouns. Se cominciano con che cosa? Are these all vowels or consonants? Sono tutte vocali. Oh, sorry. It's going to be un with apostrophe. And every noun that begins with a consonant is going to be una. Now, okay, that is not very clear here. Altri esempi. So if you have this, 1, 4, 5 e 8 sono maschili. And this is again uno, una, un apostrophe. Begins with a special consonant. Uno zaino. Rivista, femminile. Consonante, una rivista. Amica, femminile, comincia con vocale, amica. Amico, right? Maschile, comincia con vocale, un amico. One way to remember this, when to use the apostrophe and when not to, because it's un'amica, un amico, is feminine nouns accessorize and masculine nouns do not. Okay. Poi, 5, un cane. I gave you the answer before telling you that this is masculine. Singular begins with a consonant. Bene. Calcolatrice, this is a feminine noun. Comincia con consonante. Una calcolatrice. Finestra, femminile, comincia con consonante. Una finestra. Stadio, maschile, comincia con consonanti speciali. Quindi uno stadio. Bene? So, that's it here. So, in your quaderno, you have again the explanation of gender of nouns and how to do the plural by changing the endings of most cases. Again, we are going to go over some other ones, like if it ends in io, like, per esempio, negozio, you don't put another e, right? You just drop the o and keep that one, negozi. Some exceptions will be monosyllabic words. And you have, again, several examples on page 1, and then examples of ending nouns, both masculine and feminine, and their plurals on the second column. Then you have the explanation about the articles, right? Articolo determinativo. Poi, and then again, when to use the lo or gli. Poi, quando cominciano con vocali. So all this is right here in the quaderno, la pagine 1 e 2, and then some other examples. Then you go over some of this vocabulary that we did in the first week, and how to do this homework, the first pages. And you have some here. La pagina 4, you only have on the first column, this is all going to be indeterminativo, un or una. Un without the apostrophe, obviously, because it's masculine, or una, because they all begin with consonants. In this column, you have those two choices. This is articolo determinativo, la or il, and then plurals on the third column, le or i, because they all begin with just regular consonants. So you only have those two choices for each column on this page. Poi la prossima pagina, pagina 5, these are nouns that end in e in their singular form. How do we know the gender? Well, in the beginning, we tell you, right? M or F, masculine or feminine. So you still have either una or un. And then la or il, le or i. Again, these are all e ending singulars, so the plural is going to end with e regardless of gender. So it's like, oh, wait, isn't this a masculine form? No, not necessarily, because some nouns end with e in the singular form. Poi, then we have the next page. Everything begins with a vowel. So you're going to have either un apostrophe or un without apostrophe. And it depends on whether or not it's masculine or singular, right? And remember, feminine nouns use the apostrophe, masculine do not. How do you know the gender? Look at the ending. And the assumption you can make is if it's O, if it ends in O, it's masculine. If it ends with A, it's feminine, unless you're told otherwise. And if it ends in A, at least on these few pages, we tell you. So you know, oh, feminine noun, un apostrophe, right? So così. And then this column here is really easy because they all begin with vowels. And what do we do with singular nouns that begin with vowels? They all have the same article, el apostrophe. All this column has the same article, l. And then here is either le or li. Le for feminine, li for masculine nouns. Okay. Then the next page is special consonants, right? But again, you don't have to do anything different if it's a feminine noun, right? It's still una, but masculine is uno, right? And then here, determinativi is going to be lo or la, this second column, lo or la, and then the plurals, li or le, right? Li or le. So uno sbaglio, right? Una straniera, la straniera, le straniere, right? Li, lo, uno, right? So it's a little repetitive, I know, but the intention is that after you are done with doing these pages, you don't need to study, right? You learn by doing, and hopefully it will become second nature by the time you're done with all like 23 on each page. Va bene? Allora, grazie, ci vediamo tra poco. Dov'è? Ai.